Hi and welcome to Game 2 here at the UK Haddo Premiership Round 1 for the 2022-23 season. So the Premiership League 1 consists of a total of 6 games. This is Game 2 about to take place. This match is between Synergy, who are currently ranked 3 in the UK at the start of this round of league, and Rockhoppers, who are the current rank 4 team at this point in the UK listings. So, brief summary there about what Haddo League is. If you want to know more in depth about how all these work, please go and watch our video that explains how each of the league stages functions and works. And with that out of the way, let's get on with some Haddo. So, game 1 of this match is the standard 3v3 freestyle, so no restrictions on our players. Let's see what they're going to pull out the bag. So, both teams have been putting in a lot of work. Both of these teams have in the past been capable of not yet beating, but most certainly severely pushing IDK. So these are two teams that are really on the rise. See, IDK, its 3 members are all part of the Haddo England team, and Shamai from Synergy is also part of the Haddo England team. So we've got international ranked players on the pitch here as, in this pairing of matches as well. So early lead here for Synergy, but only a single point. Because the other team obviously represent all of your points, all the points available to you, it means there's always 3 points on the pitch. So unless you've got a 4-point lead, your entire advantage can be lost in a fraction of a second, because those 3 points are always available for the other team. Since you start to pull ahead a little bit here, 20 seconds left. It's looking like a positive start for them. Rockhoppers putting up a good fight, some nice motion and movement there. A little bit of a fight back here, but 10 seconds to play. Probably too big a hill for them to climb at this stage. And yeah, no, pulling it back. 1 for 2 points. No, so game 1 of this series of 7 goes to Synergy. See, nice spread across the board there. Blue 5, Slender from Rockhoppers failing to score. But other than that, everyone with points on the board. 30% accuracy there from Champ, basically giving an idea of just how good the evasion and dodging was. Obviously, the better the other team are at moving and shifting, the lower that's going to go. Very low accuracy there from some of the Rockhoppers, though. And especially looking at player 5 there, Slender, he'd got quite an aggressive build and should have been point scoring there, but with only 5% accuracy and no points on the board. So it was something problematic for them there. So loop around now into our 100 seconds recovery. All the teams get themselves prepped and set for the next game in the sequence. So game 2 in the sequence is the 1 scale game. So for this game, players are not allowed to spend any of their ability points on scale. So everyone knows you're going to be on scale 1. And scale 1 is basically those sort of like ping pong sized shots that are coming out there. It means that this round's about accuracy. Now, obviously, because you've still got all your points there, and they can be spent, generally these go into speed and charge rate. Because there is those extra points that can get thrown into charge rate, there's very limited benefit to using shields in this round, because you know there's a huge amount of firepower coming from the other team, and they've just got the capacity to punch through them, so they are unlikely to offer any sort of large-scale benefit. Rockhoppers there showing off basically what they've decided, whilst Synergy keeping their stats very much physically and metaphorically close to their chests. So nice shifting, moving. What we tend to see here, and it's definitely a hallmark of the League 1 teams, this round with smaller shots, the players tend to go much more for intelligent dodging and movement. So it's lower point scoring. You don't see them covering quite as much of the court. There's a lot more bobbing and weaving in position. Because it's a smaller shot, you need to move less to get out of the way of it. We tend, in the lower ranked leagues, we tend to see a lot more movement around the court during this one, rather than that real focused and conscious dodging and evasion that we see from the top teams. So 2-point lead here for Synergy. As we've just gone past the halfway park. Rocker was starting a little bit of a fight back there, but this game, again, because of those smaller shots, tends to be a much lower scoring round. because this is really about that physical evasion, movement, mobility of the players to move and evade around those as those crossfires come in. But Rocco was pulling it back nicely. Coming into the final 10 seconds here, 3 points apiece. Can Synergy get their momentum back into this game, or are Rockhoppers going to take this one? 2 point there, 2 points in, only a couple of seconds left. Highly unlikely Rockhoppers are going to be able to pull that back. That was a very, very good strike back there at the sort of about the 9-10 second mark from Synergy to keep themselves ahead. No scores on the board there either for player 4 from Rockhoppers or for Nene. Huge amount of fire from Nene. There 72 shots fired. Again, 28.2% accuracy from Champ. Only slightly lower than his accuracy in the previous round there. Accuracies for pretty much everyone else still really low, but definitely Champ there that was getting the landing the hits as they're moving through there. Although most scores at points actually scored by Pyro. So running through that 100-second clock again for that recovery time after between games 2 and 3 now. Game 3 is back to freestyle, so players can choose what they want, but now we're on a 2 versus 2. So obviously number of players on the pitch really changes your tactics. Some occasionally see shields in this, but they're not particularly common. What you do tend to see, though, is a lot of focused fire. So if you can get your timings right, your bounce right, and you can both focus fire the same opposing player and take them out of play, you can then immediately shift to the other player and then back again. And if you get that bounce right, you can keep yourselves going in a 2v1 for a high portion of the match. You've just got to be able to get that first knockout. It also means that the moment that your teammate gets taken out, if they're not communicating that to you instantly, now you've got a lot of good communication, a lot of voice work needing to go on here to let them know. But if you haven't told them straight away, then that fire can, and the fire rate suddenly picks up on you. You've got no chance of getting out of the way. So you need that constant communication here. You need it all rounds, but this one particularly. So it's only 2 games to 0 in this sequence for Synergy. Rockhoppers will be able to pull one back here. So good evasion and movement from Synergy at the moment. Shield just to draw a little fire out there from Rockhoppers. Synergy dropping shots across the board, not really focus firing on a single player here, which is unusual. You normally see quite a lot of heavy focus fire on one player to try and take this down to that 2v1 scenario. So first Rockhopper down. Synergy not managing to take any advantage. That will get a momentum going, and Rockhoppers have pulled the score back level. Nice evasion on that front line there from Nene. And Synergy just pulling another point in. Rockhoppers really holding to it though. 20 seconds remaining. 1 point apiece just gone in, so it's still anyone's game at this stage. This point score, you can literally go down to the last fraction of a second without knowing exactly who's going to win. So 10 seconds left on the clock. Rockhoppers bunching up there in that back corner. That was dangerous. That's cost them a point. Needed to stay separated there. And another final point going in that back corner position. So 5 points to 2. So that is 3 games to 0 currently in this series for Synergy. Champ leading the point scoring there, but Nene on the board again, and again topping the used bullets category there too. Obviously Nene tends to really focus on putting a huge amount of fire out across the pitch. She's very much focused on that crowd control aspect of the game, trying to drive people into kill zones, force them to clump up, get rid of their shields, put them into that optimum position for players like Champ and Pyro to be able to earn points off the opposing team once they've been driven effectively into those easy hit areas and had their movement and dodging options restricted on them. So prepping up again in our 100-second break, getting ready for round 4. So round 4 is the Shields match. So in the Shields round, each team has a number of points to spend to boost their abilities, as we talked about before. And here, of those points, you must have a total of 8 points in your shield stats across the 3 members of your team. So that could be one player with shields 5, one with shields 2, one with shields 1, see 2 shields 3, 1 with shields 2. you could go all shields 5 if you wanted to. You just can't have less than 8 points spent in the shields category. So this round is about your shielding work, your counter shielding work, your focused fire to take shields down, your shield positioning. Can you position them well to give yourselves an advantage? So let's see where the teams are going to go with this one. Be interesting to see. So initial shield wall there in the centre from Rockhoppers, not necessarily great position. That front shield there from Synergy, nicely placed though. Real ideal points are basically those front 2 corners, front left, front right corners, and at a slight angle, because the shields are flat, and that means that basically people can shoot behind them. So if you go too much or so, if you put it flat to centre line, people can get to the far edge and shoot behind it. One of the interesting things that we tend to see, again, it's an oddity of the League 1 teams. We see a different play style completely in League 2, Premiership and the Championship. We tend to see quite a lot of motion in the shield round. The shields are used much more as a way to, I suppose, stop cross shots, create draw shots into areas, try and put teams off the game, than stationary firing positions in the same way they are in the lower leagues. So Rockhoppers with an early lead there, but Synergy have pulled it back. Just got themselves now to back to level again. Coming in the final 5 seconds. Rockhoppers to the point ahead. Synergy pulling it back in. Is this going to be the first win for Rockhoppers? And we're going to draw. So now moving to overtime. Players have 10 seconds to get their breath back before the game starts again. You do not regain any of your life markers, and you do not regain any used shields. So you start as you finished, and it's the first score, the first knockout on any player will take this match. So this gets pretty intense. You've got to try and identify who you think the other team are going to focus on, so that player can dodge like crazy, whilst yourselves identifying the weakest player. And that is the first win for Rockhoppers, taking the shot on Nene by the looks of that. I think she got herself trapped slightly there. Both Pyro and Champ were basically getting pushed back, and she ended up in a restricted position, pretty much locked out on the centre of the back wall and got caught in the Rockhoppers crossfire. So you can see there, yeah, she was very much the heavy shielding player for the team. But great play from Rockhoppers, showing they're very much still alive in this round. So that is 1 game to Rockhoppers and 3 to Synergy. So back into our 100-second prep, and we're moving through now into Game 5. Game 5 is our 1v1 freestyle. So generally, again, we tend to see a lot of movement, a lot of fast play here. Shields are unusual. They get every now and then you see someone who pops a shield in, shield stats in just to really shake things up. There tends to be a heavy focus here on high speed, high shot size, and low charge, because you can dodge around enough to build that charge up. You don't need to score many points to stay ahead, so it's about making sure the shots that you do fire hit, rather than putting out necessarily a wall of shots. But there doesn't really seem to be a guaranteed meta for this yet in any way. Fundamentally, because your opponents are likely to go low charge rate in order to get that high speed, high shot, that a couple of points in shield could be enough to really mess them up, because they just won't have the firepower to get rid of them. So, said there isn't a real hard and fast way that this round gets played yet. So let's see where we're going on choices. Opening fire there from Rockhoppers. So we've got pretty similar builds both rounds. Slight slow charge rate from Synergy, higher from Rockhoppers. But pretty similar, going for that high shot speed build. First point to Rockhoppers, nice hit. Good evasion work. Both players there. Very nicely timed shield there from Rockhoppers. That was his one and only for this match, but he's used it very effectively, so that's all good. Being chipped away slowly there, coming up on the halfway mark. Pyro slowly clipping away those life markers. There we go, 1 point apiece. So 30 seconds to play. Rockhoppers definitely with the advantage here. 3 life markers to 2 left in play. But a nicely well placed centre shot can take the whole lot in one hit. So although it's an advantage to have obviously more in play, it's not necessarily the be all and end all. Lovely clip there, just catching Pyro on the run across. 10 seconds to play. 1 life marker left in play per player. Now if Rockhoppers can get another hit here, that will seal the match. If not, Pyro could take this all the way down to the line. And Rockhoppers take it 2 points to 1. So it is now 2 games to 3 in this series. 2 games to Rockhoppers, 3 games to Synergy. Moving on now towards game 6. Really nice stats there. Good movement, fantastic movement all round from the players. Really good evasion and dodging. I mean, yeah, that was very, very close. Well deserved win for Rockhoppers, but 2 very good one-on-one players there, showing exactly how this is done. So nice game away. So moving through now to game 6 in this sequence, cycling through our next 100-second rest point here. So game 6 is our what's known as the Haddo 20. So each player has 1 point in each of their 4 skill categories. So scale, speed, charge rate, and shields. So therefore, across the 3 of you, you effectively start with 12 points pre-spent, and you can have a maximum of 20 points spent as a team. So each player gets 6 bonus points to add. So as a team, you have 18 bonus points. So 8 of those can be spent in any way you like across your team, up to a maximum of 6 on a given player. But you must have, as a team, 10 unspent bonus points. You can have more unspent bonus points than you want, which I believe Synergy managed to do during last season in one of their games. But it's not recommended or ideal. And again, here's definitely a poker game. You don't want to do what Rockhoppers doing there and firing shots early to give away stat builds. You're going to try and basically get the other team to engage effectively the wrong players. You want them to engage the people who haven't got high stats, haven't got the points boosts. So we've got 2 and 3 have taken stats. Nanny on the back wall there is basically there to just sort of try and cause chaos and give a bit of invasion work. Got some shield points spent there from Rockhoppers, which is interesting. Potentially not a bad call though, because charge rates and so on are going to be restricted here under this restricted points level. They've got a single player fully boosted there, which is their player 4, and a shielding player there in player 5. Again, interesting tactic, doesn't seem to be paying off for them yet though. 2 point lead here for, we're about to 1 point lead now for Synergy, but those shields don't really seem to have given them the edge that I'm guessing they were hoping for when putting those into their build. The final one of the shields. Now, because shields are a finite resource, when you put those up, they have got to earn you points. And there's very interesting ways of using shields. You can use them as stationary platforms, which buy you a little bit of time, but they draw a huge amount of fire onto your position. And if you get your timing wrong trying to get out of there, you're almost a guaranteed point for the other team as their shots go through that shield and into you. 5 points to 2. Win there for Synergy. Again, interesting tactic going for the shields there, but I really don't think that paid off for Rockhoppers at all. I think that's 2 points that they could have done a lot better with had they been in firepower. We've seen that they can match Synergy on accuracy and firepower and movement. I think trying to rely on that shield was an error for them. So that is now 4 games to 2 in favour of Synergy in the sequence, which means Synergy are going to take the bonus point for this match. So currently 5 points. So 4.1 point for each game, and the bonus points are 5 points for Synergy and 2 points for Rockhoppers. Coming out of this, we've got our final match to play. Our final game to play within this match. And this is back to the 3v3 freestyle. So all restrictions off the players. And but obviously now they've had those 6 rounds beforehand, so everyone's a little bit tired, maybe not quite as quick on the feet as they were at the start of this sequence. So it'd be interesting to see whether the players look to replicate what they did during game 1, or whether the team's going with a different set of tactics here for game 7. And although, as you said, Rockers have lost the sequence because this is a set of 6 games that played, with each team playing 3 matches during that sequence of 6 matches. that it means that those point scores are totaled across those 3 matches. So every point you earn towards your team's overall score is a bonus. So even if you lost the first 6 games, you still want to try and take the 7th game because it's still going to go towards that overall score. So here we go, final game in the sequence. We are game on. First shots fired. Can Rockhoppers make this a 4-3? Or are we going to end with a 5-2 finish on the match series for Synergy? First points on the board there for Synergy. Rockhoppers pulling it back nicely. Nice fire, nice movement, good evasion all round. Everyone's staying nicely on the feet as we're coming through into the end of the first half of this game. About 50 seconds left to play. Rockhoppers pulling a point ahead. Nice motion there, and evasion they're shifting round. 2 points ahead now for Rockhoppers, coming up on the halfway point. 3 points ahead. Synergy now starting a little bit of fight, starting to fight back. Are they going to be able to pull this back to square? Nicely done. 1 point left to pull back. 30 seconds to play. Good motion across the court from everyone. Another point there on the board for Rockhoppers. Those shields dropping down nicely now, really inhibiting Synergy's capacity to put points on the board. 7 points to 4, 8 points to 4. This looks like this is going to be a Rockhoppers finish in game 7 of this match. Yep, points coming on board there for Synergy, but that is too little too late. That shield wall block there around the 30-second mark from Rockhoppers was exactly what they needed. Broke up Synergy's routine of play entirely for them. So 4 games to 3 in this series. So that is a overall match win for Synergy, adding 5 points to their team score and 3 points to the Rockhoppers team score. Coming up next, obviously we'll be seeing these teams playing off against Boss and IDK in the remaining matches of this series. So please check out the next video down the line to see how the teams progress through. We'll see you back with us soon.